How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to Rangers Rundown. A scary start to the game, but the Rangers come back with a commanding 7-4 win over the Dallas Stars in Dallas, wrapping up this 4-game road trip with 2 wins and 2 losses. So let's talk about it. They go with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen again for the second time this season. I still am not quite sure why some teams choose to do that. I didn't put him at a disadvantage tonight, I guess. It just seems awkward, the constant line juggling. Like you play an entire game as if somebody's injured. So to me, somebody who never played hockey doesn't make sense. Maybe it makes perfect sense to somebody who plays hockey. I don't know. Somebody help me out in the comments. But the lineup tonight: Kreider, Zibanejad, Lafreniere, Panarin, Strome, Hunt, Gaudreau, Chytil, Brodzinski, and then Gauthier and McKegg were the bottom line that kept getting shuffled up. Then we have Lindgren, Fox, Miller, Trouba, Nemeth, Schneider, and Hayek being the 7th defenseman for some reason. And Shesterkin was in net looking for a little bit of redemption, which he got. 49 seconds into the game, however, Lindell would score a goal, opening the scoring for the Stars and the game. It was a backhand from the bottom of the circle, and it was able to find a little bit of space right over Shesterkin's shoulder. He wasn't quite sealing the top part of the net. It goes right in. They were saying during the intermission, Shesterkin has faced that shot 41 times and has never given up a goal until tonight. First time for everything. Lindell was only able to get down to the bottom of the circle because he was against Panarin, who is 120 pounds soaking wet, so Panarin couldn't really fight him off. Second line with a great shift shortly after that, though, a 2-on-1 for Panarin and Hunt, and then on that same shift, a takeaway for Strome. But at 4:53, Seguin would score the second goal of the night for the Stars, a defensive zone turnover for the Rangers, and a deflection goal. So, less than 5 minutes into the game, the Rangers are down 2-0, and you're thinking, wow, this is going to be more of the same. The Rangers are going to lose 3 out of 4 on this road trip. They're going to go home embarrassed. But they would turn it around tonight. The Rangers have not lost 3 times straight in regulation so far this season. Tonight they could have, but they did not. Dallas immediately back in the zone after that goal, looking for a third one. Very aggressive forecheck from Dallas. The Rangers were constantly stuck in their own zone because when Dallas loses the puck, they don't start to back up. They're not afraid of your offense. They're just going to keep pushing and try and take the puck back again while staying in the zone, and they did that consistently against the Rangers tonight. 8 minutes in, Brodzinski walks in for a good chance. I'm waiting for him to score a goal. He played very well tonight. Third line has a decent shift put together 8 minutes in. 9:45, McKegg would score a goal, and I forgot to change it on the board. That should say McKegg. It looked like Miller at first, but when you watch the replay, Miller's shot was going to go wide, but it deflects in off of McKegg's leg, so he does get his second goal of the season, and Gauthier gets an assist on that goal. He was in, I believe, a 16-game point drought, so Gauthier getting on the score sheet tonight, finally. Maybe he can start to put together some goals since he knows how to get to the front of the net. Fourth line, grinding shift. It gets to Miller in the circle. Again, deflects off of McKegg, so that should say McKegg there. Third line with another strong shift shortly after that. 12:52, Hintz takes a hooking penalty. He hooks Brodzinski right between the legs. Looks like it hurt. He was on the ice for a couple seconds trying to catch his breath. I'm sure his stomach was hurting. And it only took Zibanejad 7 seconds on that power play to score his 12th power play goal of the season, tying the game 2-2 for the Rangers. So the Rangers have a little bit of life. They come back, they tie the game in the first period. It's essentially 0-0 now, fresh game with all of the momentum with the Rangers. It was just a slap shot from the top of the circle. 14-14, Fox scores a goal. He was on a 16-17 game goal drought. I can't remember which one, but it's one of those two. Deflection, he's right in front of the net. He's playing Kreider's role, right in front of the net, deflects at 5-hole. So he puts the Rangers up 3-2. And then 46, right? 46. 36. I know math. 36 seconds later, Panarin would score a goal. So that's 3 goals for the Rangers in a minute and 51 seconds to go up 4-2 against the Dallas Stars in the first period tonight. They were in the offensive zone for probably 3 shifts straight, just pouring it on, and they were able to get 4 straight goals after being down 2-0. They get to end the period 4-2. Shesterkin makes a couple of great late saves. One on Klingberg, who was alone in front, and then Lindell, who was also alone in front. Shots 14-11 in favor of the Rangers. We get into the second period. 47 seconds in, Faksa takes a tripping penalty. Zibanejad had an opportunity with a wide open net towards the end of that power play, but he fanned on the one-timer. Brodzinski working very hard, just grinding in the offensive zone, hitting people, stripping pucks, getting pucks back into circulation in the offensive zone. He played his butt off tonight. 5:12, Lindgren takes his 3rd penalty in 2 games, an interference call, and then at 6:46, Brodzinski takes a tripping penalty. So the Stars get 26 seconds of 5-on-3, and it was on that 26th second of that 5-on-3 that Robertson would score a semi-controversial goal. It bounced off of his glove and into the net. Now, if you watch it in real time, it doesn't look like he punched the puck into the net, but when you watch it in slow motion, I guess you could make the case that he made a slight punching motion to put the puck into the net, and you can't put the puck into the net with your hand unless it's not on purpose and it deflects right off. It was murky. Joe Micheletti seemed to think that it shouldn't have counted. If you watch these plays too much in slow motion, it can start to sway your opinion that it was on purpose, but the game happens in real time. So I think if you're going to look at plays like this, you have to not look at it in slow motion too much, because Robertson made the play in real time and it may have just gone off of his hand. So they let it stand. Rangers didn't challenge, so Dallas cuts the lead. Now it's 4-3. Shesterkin fights off a 2-on-1 about halfway through. Dallas really pushing hard to tie at 4-4. 11 minutes in, Gaudreau wraparound almost bounces off of a Dallas player to go into the net. That would have been embarrassing. 5 minutes left in the period. Miller set up in front, but couldn't put it in. Just over 3 minutes left. Scrum in front. Lindgren and Jamie Benn don't like each other, and that's been something that's been happening maybe just from the last game. They played Dallas the second game of the season, and they lost in overtime. I'm sure Lindgren and Benn were exchanging pleasantries during that game as well. It continued into this game, but at 18:20, Nemeth would score a goal, his 2nd goal of the season, to put the Rangers up 5-3. It was a backhand wraparound that was initially stopped, but he gets a second chance at it, and he's able to pop it right over the skate of Ottinger. He immediately covers it and scoops it out of the net. So it wasn't called a goal initially. They go back to look at it and they show you the overhead view, and you do see the puck pop over and slide over the line completely. You see white on the other side of the puck, and they do count it. So Nemeth puts the Rangers up 5-3 towards the end of the second period. Shots 13-8 in favor of Dallas. So Dallas out shooting the Rangers in that second period. Rangers still ahead by 2 goals. We get into the third period. Not a terribly busy period in terms of notable things happening. First 6 minutes, the shots are 2-0 for the Rangers. So eye test would tell you that Dallas was controlling the puck a little bit more, but the Rangers were the ones actually getting shots. 8:09, Pavelski deflects a goal into the net. He is one of the best in the league, if not the best, at deflecting goals, so shocker that he deflects one in. He's able to get the Stars within 1 goal. Not that late into the third period. They still had 12 minutes left to score 1 more goal and try and tie the game. 9 minutes left. Kreider has a chance in front. Would have been a great goal. Very tic-tac-toe, passy play. Kreider's in front. Ottinger makes the stop. 14:07, Gaudreau makes such an impressive shot It's probably one that Ottinger wants back because it kind of trickled through and went in, but it looks like a great goal on Gaudreau's part. Partial breakaway from the neutral zone. He's able to just skate right in and put enough heat on it that it's able to get through his pads and just slide into the net. Kreider, partial break with about 5 minutes left in the period. They pull the goalie with 3:25 because they're behind by 2 goals. At this point, it's 6-4 for the Rangers. Right? No. Yes. 6-4. So it's 6-4. Dallas is behind by 2 goals. They pull the goalie with about 3.5 minutes left. They take a timeout. Shesterkin tried for the empty net, and he fanned on it, and he almost gave it away. That would have been such an embarrassing goal, and that probably would have meant that the Stars would score again and win if that went in. That would have just been probably his most embarrassing moment of his short NHL career. Completely fans on it. It almost gets to a Dallas player. Rangers are able to clear it. I'm sure that's going to haunt him in his dreams tonight. But at 18:23, Strome was able to put it into the empty net. Hunt, 3 assists on the night. A career-high 3-assist game for Dryden Hunt tonight. Panarin, 1 goal, 4 assists. So Panarin involved in 5 of the Rangers' 7 goals tonight. Very nice for him. And then I believe K'Andre Miller had 2 assists, maybe 3. I think 2. You can check that though and correct me if I'm wrong. But K'Andre Miller, also a very good night tonight. Stats at the end of the game. Shots 29-34 in favor of Dallas. Faceoffs 37.3%. Rangers I think they've given up on trying to make their faceoff percentage better because they're able to win without it being over 50%. Power play went 1 for 2, so still piping hot. Coming into the game tonight, they were second in the league on the power play, and their power play was 50% tonight, so I'm sure that only helps their percentage. Hits 19-23 in favor of Dallas, blocks 10-13 also in favor of Dallas. The trivia question of the evening: Fox has 50 assists in 55 games this season. Who are the other 2 Rangers to do that in 55 or fewer games? One of them is obvious. It's Brian Leetch. Whenever there's a question about defensemen and scoring, it's probably Brian Leetch, who did it in 91-92, and then Sergei Zubov did it in 93-94. So the Rangers improved to 37-17-5, still challenging Pittsburgh for that second place spot in the Metro. Hopefully they make it to second place by the end of the season, get that 1 extra game at home if the series does go to 7 games. They are back in action, coming home Tuesday night to play the Anaheim Ducks, who I believe are already on the East Coast, playing tonight. I could be mistaken by that, but the Ducks will be in town Tuesday night against the Rangers. And I believe the Rangers play pretty much at home for the rest of the season. I think most of their remaining games are at home, which is nice. You get the home crowd, you get to score maybe a couple more points, push yourself into that second place spot, and then hopefully do some damage. The trade deadline is next Monday. So, what are the Rangers going to do over the next 9 days? It's either going to be very exciting or extremely underwhelming. And for some reason, my gut is telling me extremely underwhelming. Just the history of this organization and what they like to do at trade deadlines. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next rundown.